This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Good evening, friends. In this Azure Databricks Master Program, so in this particular session, we are going to talk about. Okay, so in this particular session, we are going to talk about Azure HDInsight with Spark Cluster. Why I have mentioned Azure HDInsight with Spark Cluster, because inside Azure HDInsight cluster, we can create. Inside Azure HDInsight resource, we can create the different types of clusters. One is Spark cluster, second you can say Kafka cluster, Storm, we have MapReduce. There are different clusters you can able to create with the help of Azure HDInsight service. So today we will create the Spark cluster by using Azure HDInsight service. Okay, in today's session we will learn Azure HDInsight overview diagram. So I will just tell you what all Azure HDInsight can able to do, how you can able to submit job, so from where and all you can able to read the data. So all those things I will discuss in this particular uh, concept. Then we are going to talk about the blob URL format. So when you are reading data from blob storage by using Azure HDInsight Spark cluster, so how you need to form the blob URL. So we'll talk about that. Then we are going to talk about Spark code snippet. So what is the Spark code that I'm going to execute today? Okay, what is the Spark code that I'm going to execute today? And then we will talk about find storages attached to the Azure HDInsight. So what you need to do in Databricks, we have seen we are able to connect to the SQL database, SQL data warehouse, data lake storage, Gen 1, data lake storage, Gen 2, blob storage, all these things we have learned. But if you look at those things, we have not there is no specific reason for reading the data from data like storage Gen 1 or Gen 2, right? So there you have a data you are reading. Suppose same way I want to read data from SQL database by using a Azure HDInsight Spark cluster. By using Azure HDInsight Spark cluster, I want to read data from blob storage. I want to read data from data lake storage Gen 1. I want to read data from data lake storage Gen 2. I want to read data from SQL database, SQL database. Remember, all these things may not be possible. I will tell you what things possible, what things not possible. Only possible things. Only you can able to read data from blob storage, data lake storage Gen 1 and Gen 2 by using Azure HDInsight Spark cluster. If you are using SQL database or SQL data warehouse, you cannot able to read by using a Azure HDInsight Spark cluster. If you still want to process this data by using Azure HDInsight Spark cluster, okay, you have a data in SQL database. Now you want to process the data by using Azure HDInsight Spark cluster. Then you need to bring that particular data from SQL database to the data lake storage, Gen 1 or Gen 2 or blob storage. Once you bring data into these storages, then you can able to process it. Then you can able to process it. Remember, okay? So that's how there is a dependency between the storages. You cannot simply connect to the different storages or databases to read data, to write data. Okay, you have only choices. You can able to read data from blob storage, data lake storage, Gen 2, Gen 1, and you can able to read and write from these storages. That's all. Next, we will talk about the difference between Azure HDInsight versus Databricks. What are the difference between Azure HDInsight and Databricks? Then we will talk about required resources that I need to create. Okay. So, but before I go and create Azure HDInsight cluster, before I go and explain the what is Azure HDInsight on all those things, I want to go and create the Azure HDInsight cluster first because it is going to take more time. So, but one thing I wanted to make sure, I will tell you one thing. Okay, let me just finish this and come back. Okay, what is Azure HDInsight? Let me tell you. Azure HDInsight is a cloud distribution of Hadoop components. Basically, if you want to use any Hadoop components, then you need to use the Azure HDInsight. Example, if you want to use MapReduce or HBase or anything. Okay, so all Hadoop related, Kafka, all those things, if you want to use, you need to go for the Azure HDInsight service because Kafka cluster, MapReduce cluster, HBase cluster, all those clusters are not available in Azure Databricks. What is the cluster which is available in Azure Databricks? Only Spark cluster, but in Azure HDInsight, we have many other types of clusters like Spark, Kafka, MapReduce, HBase, machine learning, and other types of clusters are available. Azure HDInsight makes it easy, fast, and cost effective to process massive amount of data. So how you are processing your data by using Spark? By using Spark, you are processing massive amount of data. In the same way, by using Azure HDInsight, also you can able to process your massive amount of data. So very easily and very fast, because here also you can use a Spark. Spark is in memory, it will process your data quickly. Okay, and cost effective. So here also you can use the auto scaling options to increase the number of compute services only when you need. So instead of maintaining 100 employees on bench, you just maintain, you don't maintain anybody on bench. On demand, when you need, you just ask for the employee. Cloud providers, they will provide the employees to work in your project. Exactly in the same way, when you need some compute power, you just ask the cloud provider, they will provide you. Instead of bringing that compute power and maintaining in your location or maintaining here, what you can do is you can simply just use auto scaling option on demand. When you need, then only you are going to request for the compute instead of maintaining ideally. Next, you can use this most popular open source framework with Azure HDInsight. Example, you can use Hadoop cluster, that is nothing but a map, it is Spark, Hive cluster, LLAP, so there is other clusters, Kafka, Storm, and machine learning, Xstar. There are different types of clusters you can able to create within a Azure HDInsight. Next, Azure HDInsight overview diagram, try to understand. So this is my Azure HDInsight. Okay. So now to submit the code on Azure HDInsight, there are multiple ways. One of the ways I can use a putty. I will tell you how you can install this putty, how to connect to the Azure HDInsight from this putty. So this is kind of a CLI. Okay, you just have to connect to this particular Azure HDInsight by using this putty tool. Once you connect to this cluster by using this putty, you will get a something like this CLI. Here you are going to write all your comments. Let's say I submitted my Spark code. This Spark code can read data from data lake storage gen 2, can read data from data lake storage gen 1, can read data from blob storage. Okay, so can read data from data lake storage gen 2, gen 1, and blob storage. Any other storage or database, if you want to, from any other storage or database, if you want to read the data, it is not possible. Only data that you can able to read is from data lake storage gen 2, gen 1, and the blob storage. Other storages are not possible. From other storages or databases, you cannot read data into Azure HDInsight. So now when I submit Spark code can able to access data only from these storages. Remember. Next, so Spark code can submit from putty. Spark code also can submit from the Jupyter notebook. We will discuss about Jupyter notebook. Next, we can also submit our Spark code from the Azure Data Factory. Today I will show you from Azure Data Factory also how you can submit your code on Azure HDInsight. Okay. Now I have created a Azure HDInsight service. I have created a Azure HDInsight service in East West. Then, okay, then your data lake storage gen 2, gen 1, or blob storage, anything, whatever storage which you want to access from Azure HDInsight, those all services must be in the same location. See, computable storage should be in the same region. If you are creating your compute Azure HDInsight in East West, then your storages must be there in a East West. Okay, so please remember this point. This is very important point. I have this data lake storage gen 2, I have data lake storage gen 1, blob storage. Can I able to access data from all these three storages or not? By default, no. By default, no, you cannot able to read. But when you can able to read is whatever storage you have created, that storage you need to attach, you need to use within Azure HDInsight. I will tell you, when you are creating this Azure HDInsight, you need to tell these are the storages which are going to maintain backend data. So you need to attach these storages when you are creating Azure HDInsight. Okay, so if I attach data lake storage gen 2, then I can able to read only data from data lake storage gen 2. If I attach a blob storage, only I can able to read data from blob storage. If I attach data lake storage gen 2, I can able to read only data from data lake storage gen 2. Okay, so what it means, first you need to have a storage, and then you need to create a Azure HDInsight. Because before you create Azure HDInsight, you need to have a storage so that when you are creating Azure HDInsight, you can able to attach that storage. Second thing, your storage and your Azure HDInsight must be in the same location. Okay. With these details, before I explain other stuff, let me quickly go to the portal. Okay, let's create a storages. First, click on storage account. Click add storage accounts. So Azure HDInsight is nothing but Hadoop related components, right? So backend storage, it will consider as a HDFS, Hadoop distributed file system. Okay, see resource group. So resource group I will consider as a cloud funded BI master program. Click OK. From here storage account name cloud funded HDFS1. Okay, cloud funded HDFS1. It's Hadoop distributed file system 1. Click review plus create. Click create. So in which location I have created? East US. Remember, I created the storage in a East US. Okay. Next. So not only one storage, I will create a multiple storage. Okay. Click add storage. Select BI master program. Say storage account name here. You can call it as a cloud funded HDFS2. Hadoop distributed file system to East US. So again, I am creating in East US. Click review plus create. Click create. I have created two storages. Let me create one more storage. Okay. I'll just create one more storage. Let's go back. Click on storage accounts. Let me create one more storage. Add storage. This is the resource group. So this is my This is the resource group. My storage I am creating cloud funded HDFS3. Review plus create. Create it. Okay. So this is also deployed. This is also deployed. Now let me just create a one more storage just to show you something. I'll just create a one more storage. Okay. Here you see cloud funded HDFS4. Cloud funded HDFS4 in which another region I will create in East West too. Okay. Click review plus create. Create it. Now let me open the portal here, portal.azure.com. Let me create the Azure HDInsight service here. When I am going to create Azure HDInsight service, you are going to attach which storages you want to make accessible from the Azure HDInsight. So go back. So let's check it. What all storages are created or available. See, HDFS1 and HDFS2 is available. Refresh it. HDFS3 is also available. If you refresh one more time, so the 1, 2, 3 is created. This also will be available in a few seconds. So now if you keep refreshing, let me just get that as well so that yeah. So my HDFS4 also came. It should come up. It is not coming. Go to resource. See, HDFS4 is also available. It came. Okay, click on this. Go to storage account. See now, HDFS 1, 2, 3, 4 you have. Okay, remember. So out of all these are the first 5 are in East US. This is the only one in East US too. Now come to second tab. Now I need to find the Azure HDInsight, right? Azure HDInsight. Okay. So Azure HDInsight, they renamed or what? See, HDInsight cluster. Okay, just click on that. HDInsight clusters. Click add to create the HDInsight cluster. So Azure subscription. Let me just attach the resource group. resource group, this is the resource group. Cluster name, so I will say Cloud Pandit HDI cluster. Okay. In which location I am creating this cluster? In east to west. Okay. In east to west. Now select a cluster. So as I mentioned, multiple clusters. We have Hadoop cluster, Spark, Kafka, HBase, Interactive Query, Storm, Machine Learning, R server. Okay. Now we want a Spark cluster. We learned already Spark. That's why we need a Spark system. Next. So here there are two types of username and password. I will tell you. Just for now, keep this particular username and password. Okay. I will just enter username is Malaya. Okay. This is Malaya and password. Let me enter here. Okay, so I entered a username and a password. Okay, this username and password you are going to use when you are connecting to the Azure HDInsight from the Azure Data Factory plus to the Jupyter. So I have mentioned there are three ways to connect to the Azure HDInsight. One is Jupyter, Azure Data Factory. To connect to the Azure HDInsight from the Jupyter and ADF, you need to use this username and this password. This is just a confirm password. Next, how I will connect to the Azure HDInsight from the putty? For that, you need to have a separate username and password. See, so SSH username. This is the putty username. So what you want to use as a password for putty? So I want to use same password which I have given here. Same password I want to use for my putty. Just select this. See, use cluster login password for SSH. Same for password which I have given here. I am going to use here. Okay. Next, storage. Here you need to attach your storages. Okay. See, this is a Azure storage. Just you can just select all the storage. See, why I am not able to see HDFS4? Can somebody tell me why I am not able to see HDFS4?
Location.
What?
Region, East US.
It is in a different region. Manohar, Vinod, Vinay, Bhaskar Reddy, tell me why I am not able to see.
It's in a different location.
Okay, yes. HDFS4 is there in a east west too. East to west. Okay, that's what I told. I am creating the storage in a HDInsight. Okay, now just select all these HDFS1, 2, 3, Cloud Pandit CB3 storage, Cloud Pandit blob storage. Okay, let me attach HDFS1. Now when you attach HDFS1, other storages you cannot able to access from the Azure HDInsight. Only HDFS1 you can able to access. But I want to attach HDFS2, 3 also. How to do that? How to do that? Come here. See, inside this storage, I am going to create some default container. Okay, Cloud Pandit. This is a default container. Container is nothing but what? Tell me, what is nothing but container? What is a container? Container is a kind of a folder. So I'm just creating some folder inside the storage to keep some configuration files. Next, so if you have any other storage, like let's say here data lake store gen 1, you see you have data lake store gen 1 or gen 2 or blob storage, anything we can able to attach. In Azure storage, I attached blob storage 1, so I have other blob storages, right? So if you have other blob storages, additional storage account, click on this to attach. So you can attach even gen 1 other things also, but I'm just going with one. Just see, select here which storage you want to attach to. Okay, click OK. If you want to attach HDFS3, then you can do that. So, but some of the requirement may come later after creating Azure HDInsight, you want to attach the storage. How you can able to attach after creating Azure HDInsight? That's what we will discuss. So that's why for now, I am just attaching HDFS1 and HDFS2. These two storages I'm attaching in my Azure HDInsight cluster. Click security, leave them as is. Pricing, here we have a something called, here you have a something called, here you have a something called clusters. So we discussed, right, you can have a cluster is nothing but a group of missions. Now head nodes 2, you cannot change it. So zookeeper nodes are 3, you cannot change it. Worker nodes are, I'll just make it as only 1. See what it is saying? You have reached your subscription core quota limit in East US. Please choose a different region or request billing support to increase your limit for East US. Now click on view core usage. Course in use, available course. What it is saying? This is for free, it is saying. Then, okay, let's do one thing. Let me just take 4 course. No. Let's take 2 course. No. Let's take here 2 course. View core storage. Let's go to East to S2 and see. Nothing there in East to S. 1 second, friend. For this subscription, it is not showing any course at all. Let's come back. East to S. East to S only we should select, because this is going to have a more course available. But for this particular subscription, it is not showing all these things. Click on HDInsight cluster. Let me just start from the beginning again. Okay, this is the problem. See, the subscription is not registered to use Azure HDInsight resource provider. Click here to register. Okay, that's why it is not showing any course. I'm like confused why it is not showing any course. You understood? Now, very simple. We have done here. We came here. You remember when we came here? When we are using event hubs. When we are using event hubs, we came here. Register this HDInsight.
It's event triggers, right?
What?
We came here while working on event triggers.
Yes. Event triggers, yes. Okay, don't worry, it will show like that only. See resource providers here. Now search for HDInsight. It is still registering. So let it register, because once it is registered, we can able to use that. It will take, I think, approximately 1 minute. By now it should finish. Yes, it is registered. Okay, that's okay. Now come back, click on HDInsight cluster. Now, so I'll just quickly do all the steps that we have done. Subscription, I'll just use the same resource group that we have created. Then I'm going to use the cluster name, Cloud Pandit, HDI cluster. So east to west, select a cluster type. We are going to use Spark cluster. So we know this username and password is basically used for Jupyter and the ADF logins. So I'm going to use SSH user, and this is my password. So we need to make sure we are remembering these things. Okay, so for that I'll just use some notepad. In notepad I'll just keep this username, and I'll just remember the password. Okay, password is same for both, but this username is used for Jupyter and ADF. This username you need to use for the putty. What is putty? We will talk about those things. Click storage. So you know Azure storage, I don't want to create anything new. So this is the one. In this storage, I want to create a default container cloud with the default, and I want to attach some extra storage. Click on Azure storage, select that storage HDFS2, click OK. So then click security, then click here. So now you see it is still throwing error, but now you see view core usage. So now you will have some available cores. Now you look at here, how many cores are available for you? 12 cores are available. So 12 means here you are using two nodes. Each node is of 4. So 4 into 2 is 8. So here I just have to use 1, and the mission size must be 4 cores. Now you will not have any issue. So your 6, you have 3 missions, but this is, it is saying 0.0. Fine, let's try to take this also too. Okay, 1 second. 2 into 2 4, 3 into 2 6, 4 plus 6 is 10. Now I will make it as 2. This also I'll make it as a 2. So now it is 12 cores. So I'm using total 12 cores. You see, 2 into 2 is how many cores? 4. 2 cores. 2 into 2 4. 3 into 2 6. 6 plus 4 10. 1 into 2 2. So total 12 cores I'm using. Okay. With this configuration, click tag. So here you can do many things, but as we don't have many cores, I cannot do. But there are two types of loadings you can do. Load based means how we have auto scaling based on the load. So if you want minimum missions, I want 1, and maximum missions I want 10. So then what happens if when you submit a 10 cores, like when you submit a 10 terabytes of data, 10 GB of data, let's imagine for easy understanding, if you have 10 GB of data to process, 10 missions I will use. If you submit 1 GB data to process, I will use 1 mission. So 1 to 10 automatically it will increase based on your data. So I don't want like this. I want schedule based. At 9 o'clock, I want these many. At 10 o'clock, I want these many. Click configure. At 9 o'clock, I want 1 mission. At 10 o'clock, I want 3 missions. Okay, at 11 o'clock I want these many, like this at time or type based on time you can able to do. Okay, but auto scaling I don't want, then you can uncheck this, click tags, key value pair, then click press create. Click create. Okay, now you see you have created the HDInsight cluster and you have created the 3 storages. Can you tell me, can I able to access the data which is there in HDFS3 or not?
Yes, you can.
Very, very good. Can I access data which is there in HDFS3 or not? How you can access? I have not attached HDFS3 when I'm creating Azure HDInsight. Just attached HDFS1 and 2. How you can able to read data from HDFS3? You will not be able to read. Okay, that I will show you. Fine, but now let's quickly go through the other slides. But you see, you can use any of these 3 storages. Okay, I'm using the blob storage. Now I can able to use this blob storage, whatever blob storage we have attached in Azure HDInsight, those things I can able to access from Putty, Jupyter and ADF V2. Next, blob URL format. See, you need to remember one thing. When you want to access data from blob storage, you need to form the URL. How you'll read data from the blob storage is container name, okay, was bs :/ container name @storage name .blob .core .windows.net. Okay, this is how you need to form the URL. Example, this is the actual URL. See, was bs is same. This is container name. My container name is, I have created a Cloud Pandit container. Example, this Cloud Pandit container is available in which storage? Blob storage. Okay, my storage name is blob storage .blob.core.windows.net. So this is how you need to form the blob URL to read data from this particular blob storage. Okay, in this blob storage I have a Cloud Pandit container. From Cloud Pandit container I am able to read the data. Clear to all of you? This URL you need to remember. Next, so Spark code snippet. See, can somebody tell me, whoever knows what is this, what I'm doing here?
Creating Spark session.
Very good. I am creating this Spark session. Okay, this is how you are going to create this Spark session. I might not have explained previously. Spark session dot builder dot app name. App name is this, the app name dot get or create. If the Spark session already available, get it, otherwise create it. Okay, so with the help of this Spark session, I'm going to read the file. How you read? We just formed the source URL, right? So in this container, in this container, I want to read the data. So source path. In this container, I uploaded CSV file. Let's imagine I want to read. How you read? By using this Spark session, spark.read.csv from this particular path, header equal to true. This will give me df underscore source. I read the data. I want to do small transformation. What is width column will do? What width column will do? Can you tell me what width column will do? Just give me a minute.
We'll add the column.
Your column.
Okay. So
It will
what?
add columns up in the columns.
So it is going to add the new column, that is load date, and it is going to generate the today date, current underscore date. So this is my df underscore source one. So what I need to do? This df underscore source one dot write dot mode override CSV target part. What I'm doing? So this result I'm writing into my blob storage. Maybe you can write your output into same storage in another container, Cloud Pandit output container. You read data from Cloud Pandit container and you are writing data in the Cloud Pandit output container. Okay, so I am just creating Spark session, reading data, applying some transformation, then I am writing data back. Next, find storage. So how to understand the storages which are attached to the Azure HDInsight? Now you know you have attached HDFS1 and HDFS2. You have not attached HDFS3, but I'm newly joined in the organization. I want to understand what all storages we have attached to this Azure HDInsight. So we have an option from the UI, but that UI will not show you correct result. Okay, you understood? So UI will not show the correct results. Okay, so that's why you need to go to the configuration file. From putty terminal, we can find the configuration file, that is core-site.xml etc/hadoop/config core-site.xml. If you open this config file, in this config file you will have all the storage information, all the storages which are attached to Azure HDInsight. You can able to see. Next, Azure HDInsight versus Databricks. See, different clusters available like Spark, HBase, MapReduce, Kafka, but have only Spark cluster available in Azure Databricks. No cluster termination option is available in Azure HDInsight. Okay, but cluster termination option is available. You can restart the cluster, but here no restart is available. Can connect to only storages, maybe blob storage, data lake storage, Gen1, Gen2. Can connect to different storages and databases and Databricks. Compute and storage must be in same region. So your storage must be in same region, we have seen. But here in compute and storage may or may not be in the same region. No need to be in the same region. There is no default storage for Azure HDInsight, but we have a default Databricks file system is available in Azure Databricks. We have a Databricks file system is available in Azure Databricks. Required resources are, I need to create Azure storage accounts. I already have created. Azure HDInsight I need to create. I have created that. Then I need to create the data factory. And putty. Putty is basically you need to download and install it. You don't need to install it. It's an exe file. You can open it. Okay, I will tell you how you can use this putty. But basically Azure Data Factory also you need to create. Okay, because we need to execute. We need to submit our Spark code on Azure HDInsight by using a Spark activity in Azure Data Factory. So we need to use the putty. Putty also one of the way to submit. Then you have a Jupyter. Jupyter will come automatically within Azure HDInsight. You don't need to install separately this Jupyter. Okay, that's all slides we have. Let's quickly go and see our Azure HDInsight is available or not. Come here. See, Azure HDInsight, as I mentioned, right, it will take quite long time. So see, you submitted at 8:05. Now the time is 8:12. So it's just 7 minutes. It will take some more time to come up. Okay. So meanwhile, I just create Azure Data Factory. Click on Data Factories. Click Add Data Factory. So you just select this resource group East-West Data Factory name. I will say Cloud Pandit Media V2. So Cloud Pandit HDI ADF V2. See Cloud Pandit HDI ADF V2. This is a version 2. Git configuration. I'll just configure it later. Click review plus create. Click create. Okay. So deployment is in progress. So Azure HDInsight is still creating all these things. So yes, Data Factory is already available. It will create quickly, right? What is this? Click on Data Factories. Yes, there is a Data Factory. Data Factory deployed. Just click go to this. What I have done? I have created resource group. See, our Data Factory is available. Okay, but Azure HDInsight is still coming up. Meanwhile, I want to go to the storage accounts and let's upload some data. Go to HDFS1. I'll create, go to container. So create here. So this is the default container we created from the HDInsight. Okay. So I'll create a Cloud Pandit 1 container. Click create. let's go inside Cloud Pandit 1. Let me just upload the data. Click on completed. So I'm just uploading results.csv. Open this, upload it. Same file I will upload into Azure Studio. Okay, just click on this and let me show you the data. Click edit, preview data. So this is the credit card data. Okay, I have credit card data. Just to close this, come back. So here I have created a Cloud Pandit 1. So storage 1, in that we have a container as Cloud Pandit 1. Let's go to storage 2. Click on container. Let's create a Cloud Pandit 2 here. Cloud Pandit 2 container. Inside this also I am going to upload the same data. Let's upload data. We go back, click on HDFS 3. But we know it's not accessible. It's not accessible. But we'll see how you can able to access this. We'll talk about this. Okay, I have a requirement to access this storage. How to access, we'll see. But here I am creating the Cloud Pandit 3 container. Go inside this container. Let's upload the data. Cloud Pandit, yeah, results.csv. Let's open, upload this. Okay, we have all of this. We have all of these things. Good. Yes, we are good. Now go to HDInsight. Still it is creating. Okay. Meanwhile, I just create the code. So first thing you need to understand how to create this Spark session from PySpark.sql import Spark session. Okay. Next. So by using this Spark session class, Spark session dot builder dot. Okay. So you can say here app name. So app name you can give something. Okay, this I can say Cloud Pandit demo. Get or create. Get or create. What is get or create? Get if the cluster is already available. Otherwise, create a new cluster, a new session. Okay, create a new session. This particular thing I will assign to a variable called Spark. I will assign to a variable called Spark. Okay, clear to all of you?
Yes, Malaya.
Okay. So now what I will do, there's a Spark session, step 1. Now I need to read the data. So source path. How to form the source path? You remember was bs / container name. What is the container name? In this storage we have a container as Cloud Pandit 1. In our first storage we have a Cloud Pandit 1 at the rate. Storage name is Cloud Pandit HDFS 1. Okay, dot blob dot core dot windows.net. Okay, this is how you need to form the URL. Now in this particular path I have uploaded what type of file? CSV. To read CSV there are different syntax. The easiest syntax is spark.read.csv, and you can say source path. Source path you can able to pass it here. Okay, here you can say header equal to true. This will give me the df underscore source. On this df underscore source, next one what I will do, from PySpark.sql.functions, I will import the current underscore date function, and I will add the new column to this particular data frame. How to add new column? With the column. Okay, so what is the new column I want to add? Load underscore date. So here I will just say current underscore date. Okay, this I can say df underscore source 1. Okay. This particular data I want to write it into my target path. I want to write data into my second storage. I want to write data into second storage. Oh, I already uploaded, right? I already uploaded. Let me just delete that particular file in Cloud Pandit. See, Cloud Pandit 2, this particular folder is available in HDFS 2. Okay. So in this particular container, which is there in this storage, I want to write this data, df underscore source one. So write dot. Anyhow, you can just say here itself, you don't need to worry about all those things. You can say mode is override, you can say mode is override dot dot save, sorry, as a CSV I want to load the data target path, isn't it? So in this path I want to load with the headers, header equal to true, you can say. These are the different syntax. Okay, created this Spark session, reading data and then adding extra column, then writing the data. Come here, let's go to Azure HDInsight. What is happening to Azure HDInsight? Still it's 15 minutes, maybe we need to wait for 5 more minutes. That's okay. Maybe just to avoid this confusion, right? So inside Cloud Pandit 2, we know inside this Cloud Pandit 2 we have a data. So inside it Cloud Pandit 2, I want to create some subfolder. I can say my output data folder it should create. Okay, just to give output data. So this is a container. Inside container, if you want to create subfolder, you just have to give the subfolders at the end. This is my actual code. This is my actual code. This I'm going to submit through. You can say this particular code I can submit through Putty, then I can submit through Jupyter and ADF. Okay. Meanwhile, as Azure HDInsight is still creating, I will show you how you can download the Putty. Okay, come here. Let's come here. Putty download. So click on this Putty download. So click on download Putty. Click here. So come down here. You see putty.exe. Okay, you have a 32-bit and 64-bit based on your system configuration. You can click. So mine is 64-bit. You can just click putty.exe. Okay. So once you download this is very simple. See 1.1 KB. It's not even 1 MB. Okay, but why it is taking too much time to download? Are you able to hear me, friends? Hello. Hello. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
I think we got doubt. So yes, it is small software. It is taking this much time to download. See, when we have launched it, 17 minutes 44 seconds. Status is okay. There is nothing is failed, so everything is fine. See, this is we have downloaded Putty, right? You just open it, so you will see something like this. It will come. It's coming. Okay. So here you need to give the host name or IP address. I will tell you how to get the HDInsight host name or IP address. Once you get how you can connect, we will discuss. But we cannot do anything. Let's wait for some time. Only Azure HDInsight cluster should be available. So let's wait. You remember, so like in Spark, it will not take this, in Databricks, it will not take this much time. Okay, but only here it is taking this much time.
Hello, Malaya. You there, right?
Yes, don't worry. So I'm just waiting for a cluster to come up. So once it is come up, we can just discuss. Okay. So it will take more time, I know. So it will take some 20 minutes. But now I think some zookeepers, some other cluster, other compute nodes they have added. So that's why it is taking more time. So let's wait for 5 to 10 more minutes. It should come up. If it is not coming up, then there will be some issue. At least it should fail if it is not going to come up. So it may take up to 30 minutes. That's why I just started with HDInsight cluster creation. Okay.
Malaya?
Yes, Sudhir.
Yeah, I have a question, Malaya. Suppose if
Hmm.
you have files in on-premises Unix server, how to load that files into Azure Gen 2, like Gen 2?
So in the Linux mission,
Yes.
one second. Okay. See, if you have files in Linux mission, you can get those files in a different ways. So one of the ways you need to set up some FTP server or SFTP server. Then you can able to fetch those things into your data lake storage into by using Azure Data Factory. Okay. You need to set up something called FTP server. Or FTP is just a file transfer protocol. You can do something like SFTP, it's a secure file transfer protocol.
Yeah,
You can just
yes. Yes. Suppose my client is uploading files daily into that Linux machine, so that I need to automate this process. Like from that server, I need to load it into Azure Data Lake Gen 2. For this, we have to use this FTP setup, right?
yes, ADF you can pipelines you can use, and those pipelines you can automate it by using triggers.
Okay.
Sudhir?
Yeah,
And
Malaya, got it.
if we install that FTP, like we need to install this FTP in that Linux machine, Malaya.
Yes.
Okay. And the path of the files, where
See,
should we give?
FTP server means so particular folder you will mark it as a FTP folder. Okay, FTP server. So you will just point to particular folder. In that particular folder, you need to maintain all the files. How we have created a mount point, right? So that is the central point. So inside subfolders, all those things you can able to access in the same way. FTP, if you create all the subfolders, you can able to create it. You can able to access it.
One more thing is Malaya, like we have Azure Databricks, Azure HDInsight, ADF for processing, right? In which
Yes.
scenario we have to choose this for processing? Like which component we need to use based upon the scenario?
See, Databricks you are going to use if you have something machine learning models. If you want to implement, example, your client is retail or healthcare or finance, whatever. So if it is a finance, they want to understand their next what is their future. Everybody wants to understand whatever domain you work, right? So every business want to understand their future business, what is their future profits, all those things. So if they want to understand their future business, what they need to do, they need to implement the machine learning models. So if they are going to implement the machine learning models, basically then we will go for the Azure Databricks. Okay, so I have simple ETL process, and without like much tensions, you want to just implement ETL process, then you can go with ADF and data flows. Azure HDInsight, basically we want to go and use for Spark cluster, but if you have any Kafka cluster and all, you can go and use the Azure HDInsight, because this Azure HDInsight we were using when we don't have a Azure Databricks. But after Azure Databricks came, all the people whoever is using Azure HDInsight, they moved to the Azure Databricks. But still Azure HDInsight you can use where if you want to use a Kafka cluster or other clusters, which I have shown you.
Okay. Malaya, I have another question. Like, how to mask confidential fields in a table? Suppose I have some confidential fields, right, like address and some customer identification number like that. So how to mask this without exposing to users?
That is, you can do in a different ways. You can just hide those numbers, or you can, let's say, if you have account number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 something, what you need to do, you need to add some 1,000 to it to make it a new number. It's not a correct number, right? So that you can do, and you are saying when you are creating some things, right? So what happens? Last 4 digits only it will show. When you receive your current balance in your bank is this much, when you are seeing those messages, so first few numbers it will say XXX and it will display last 4 digits. Like that, if you want to do, you can able to do. Okay. See, our cluster is available now. So there are different ways you can able to do. Okay, fine. Now you see our Azure HDInsight cluster is status is running. Now, what I wanted to do, I want to connect to this particular cluster by using putty. To do that, go to SSH plus cluster login. Okay, select this host name. So here you can see SSH user plus this one, right? So what you can do, you just take this host name, you just copy this host name. So this is the host name. Okay, copy this. That host name you can just provide. See, host name you need to check it here. Host name is nothing but a cloud pandit HDI cluster ssh.azure-insight.net. Click open, click yes. So it will ask you to enter login details. What is the username? See, putty username is what? SSH user. Now you can provide SSH user. Enter. So I'll just enter the password now. Okay. So I have used the like basically I have connected to the Azure HDInsight by using putty. Okay. Now what I wanted to do, I want to go and open the PySpark shell. I want to open PySpark shell to execute my PySpark. Just say here PySpark. Just say PySpark, enter. So it will open the PySpark shell. Here Spark session, Spark context, those things you no need to create because those things will be available by default. Okay, see here, can you just check it? Yeah, next, I think next message it will give you. Spark session is available as Spark, that message it will give you. You can see now, it will come up soon. Just now cluster is upright, so it will take some time. Yes. So can you just see here, Spark session available as Spark, meaning Spark session already available. So if you want to submit these 2 lines of code, you copy and let me just submit here. enter. So there is no issue. You can still create your Spark session because you are using get or create. Okay, you can have a multiple Spark session. Fine. Now I want to read the data. First, let's talk only about reading the data. Okay, from a different storages. Let's run it. It is throwing some error. Spark.
Double D header.
Okay, right. Double D. Okay, enter. So this is done. If I want to see top 20 records, what I can do? If I want to preview the data, what I can do?
Show 20.
DF?
That show 20.
Yeah, you no need to mention show 20. By default, it will show 20 records. Dot show. This is from which place you see? Source path is Cloud Pandit 1, Azure HDFS 1. Okay, let me just take it in a different way. Cloud Pandit 2, HDFS 2. I'll just say header. Let me just submit these two now. Enter. Now path I have changed. Cloud Pandit to HDFS 2. So still it is able to read the data. Now if you ask df source dot show, so it will show the same records. Okay, because you are able to read the data from the second storage. Now let's go to the third storage. I won't make any changes to copy this. So do you think I will be able to read data from third storage or not? See, it is throwing very big error. What it is saying? No credentials found for account Cloud Pandit hdfs3.blob.core.windows.net in the configuration. It is saying this. What you need to do now? What you need to do now? What you need to do? Very simple thing. Let's come out. Okay. Control Z. I came out. Now here I'll just tell you what you need to do. You need to go to a directory called etc/hadoop/config. In this you have cat 4-site.xml. okay, in this XML file, in this configuration file, you can see the storages which you have attached. HDFS1 you have attached, HDFS2 storage you have attached, but it is not showing anything HDFS3. You see, it is just showing HDFS1 and HDFS2. HDFS3 it is not showing. Now I want to attach third storage in my cluster. For that you need to go to script actions. See, go to storage accounts. Here you can see the attached storages HDFS1 and 2. But now whatever storages you are attaching from now, those will not be visible in UI. Now go to script action to attach third storage. Click submit new. So what you want to do? I want to add an Azure storage account. Okay. So first you need to give the storage account name. So my storage account name is HDFS3. Come here, just let's take this. Okay, and then I'll just remove the storage. See what you need to give next, storage account key. So I'll just go here, click on access keys to get the storage account key. Show keys, there's the key, just copy this key and paste that particular key here. Okay, now click create. That's all. Now third storage also will be attached to this Azure HDInsight cluster. Okay, submitted by user. Status new script action can be submitted after the current cluster operation finishes. So see, this is the currently submitted script. What it is going to do? it is going to add the third storage. Okay, let's go to applications, come back to the script actions to see the progress. See, status is in progress. Status is in progress. So it will take approximately 30 seconds to 1 minute to attach. Status is what? Succeeded. Status is what? Succeeded. Go to storage account. Are you able to see the HDFS3? No, you will not be able to see. Now, how you will able to see that? Okay, here also it will take some time, but it will show in this config file. It will show in this config file. I know in this also it will take some time, but it will show in this config. See, HDFS3 came already. Okay, HDFS3 storage is showing because now I have added. Now I'll just open my PySpark shell. Okay, now I'll just open my PySpark shell. I'll just try to read data from my third storage. Will I be able to read or not? Will I be able to read or not? Yes, I will be able to read data from the third storage as well. Okay, so you can read data from storage 1, you can write it into storage 2, you can read data from storage 2, you can write it into storage 1, you can read data from storage 3, write it into storage 1. So those three storages are accessible. So when those three storages are accessible, you can read from any storage, you can write it into any storage. Okay, just remember that particular key. Now what I will do, I'll just submit all this code at once. So Cloud Pandit 3, HDFS 3. So then I'm going to just add the extra column. I'm going to write my data into Cloud Pandit 2. Okay, let's take these 4 lines of code. Let's submit at once. So these are normal error, no need to worry. Why is taking this much time? One second. Okay, let me just do one thing, just cancel this. Let's open PySpark shell once again. So see, this issue is coming because we are using small missions as we have some limits in free trial subscription, right? So that's why those missions are very, very slow. Okay. Anything is no, fine. Okay, so we got this. Now I'll just submit all this code at once so that everything it will execute. Otherwise, let's execute one by one. So let me just execute till here at once. I created this Spark session and I'm reading the data. Okay. Okay, let's take this code as well meanwhile. Yes, it is finished. Now let me just submit these two lines. As it is also finished, and just try to check what is the data we have in df source one.show. Let's run it. So it is going to display the data now. You can see. So this is the data. So I added the load data. Okay, to the date came. This data I want to write it into my Cloud Pandit 2 container. Inside that I'm going to create a output data folder. Inside that folder I'm writing the data. Okay, let's write this data. Data. So it is writing the data. It's done. It has written the data. Now come here. Go to storage account to 2 because Cloud Pandit 2 folder is available here. Just click on overview. Click on container. Go inside Cloud Pandit 2. See output container I have created. Inside that I have uploaded, like I have written my data. Okay, just open this file. Click edit. This file have entered data along with the date, load date. Okay, so this is how we are able to use this putty to submit our Spark code and to do this particular all calculations. All the Spark code interactively you can able to execute and check whether all Spark code is fine or not. Okay, this is one way. Let's go to the second way, that is in Azure HDInsight. Click on overview. I want to submit my code on Jupyter Notebook. Okay, just click on Jupyter Notebook. Here you see Jupyter Notebook. Just click on that. Now, what credential we need to enter? My username and password. Okay, username is my name. I will use this password. Click sign in. So Jupyter Notebook is exactly kind of your Databricks notebook. Okay. Okay, we are here now. Just click new. So click PySpark 3 means Spark Python 3. Okay, just click on this. Then it will open this some kind of a Databricks notebook how we have in the same way. The notebook it will open. Okay. In Jupyter Notebook also we have Spark session, everything available. So this time what I will do, I'll just read data from Cloud Pandit. Yeah, so doesn't matter from where you are reading Cloud Pandit 3. Okay, so I'm reading the data. This time I will write data into Cloud Pandit 1. Cloud Pandit 1 folder, which is there in a HDFS1 storage. Okay, so this is the code that I'm going to execute. Yes, this is the code. Okay, so first just use this and you can just put it here, execute it. How to execute? The shortcuts you can use to execute, that is like you can use a shift and enter. Okay, you can use a shift and enter. I think it is executing, why it is not showing this execution. What is happening? So I think it is executing. Let's wait some time. It will show that execution details. Here you see this kernel is available. Let me just close this unnecessarily. It's burden. Kernel ID locate is not executing that. Let's execute this. Yes. Now you see Spark session starting. Okay. Spark session starting. So basically you don't need to create Spark session already available. Okay. Spark session already available. If you want, you can just say it's a Cloud Pandit. I'll just say Cloud Pandit. Okay, let me resubmit this. QA. So I'm just creating my Spark session and assigning to a variable called Cloud Pandit. Now let me just bring all my other code. This is the code. And let me just put it here. What this code will do, this is basically from this particular thought storage, I'm reading the data, that is df source, and then I'm importing some current underscore date and adding the new column df source one. This df source one I'm writing to the HDFS1 storage. In HDFS1 Cloud Pandit 1 folder, I'm writing this data. But now when you are reading the data, instead of Spark, what you need to do, you need to tell Cloud Pandit, because I'm assigning my Spark session to the Cloud Pandit. Now you need to say Cloud Pandit.read.csv, you need to say. If you want to create multiple shells, you will have a here. If you don't want to use shortcuts, but I want to create a cell. See, run cell means this is the one. So if you want to create, then you need to click here. So say insert cell below. Okay, these are the like without shortcuts if you want. The code failed because of this error. Session 0 unexpectedly final status that C logs. That's fine. Let's run it once again. What it is saying. Okay, let's not try to create multiple Spark sessions. I think as we're trying to create multiple Spark sessions, it is throwing error because already we have a Spark session available. That's fine. But see, with the existing Spark session, I'll just try to read the data. Just execute this. Okay, if you have these kind of error, do one thing, just go to kernel, you just say restart kernel. Once kernel is restarted, you just try to read the data. Try restarting, yes. Okay, so it is asking username and password. Let me enter username. Kernel starting, please wait. So it is starting your Spark session. So once the Spark session is available, then we can able to read the CSV file. Okay. So you can do in different ways. It's very slow. Okay, see now Spark session available as Spark. Okay, so now we have a Spark session available as Spark. PyCharm is just a tool. Okay, fine. See Spark session available as a Spark, and I'm just reading the data by using that. You see Spark session available as a Spark. Already Spark session will be available as a Spark. Now as Spark session is available, it is running. So I'm just trying to read this data. Once I read the data, I'll just add new column, then I'll write data directly into my storage one. So yeah, it is just finished. Now what I wanted to do, so under this, let's try to insert one cell and we'll see the data. We'll see the data from data. Shift 1 second. Just read this data. Okay, meanwhile, as it shows the data, meanwhile, yeah, data is showing, right? This data, for this data, I'm going to add extra column, then that result I want to write it into the storage one, inside storage one, Cloud Pandit one folder, inside that Cloud Pandit one folder, I want to create an output data folder one. Let's see what all folders we have in storage one. Go to storage one, click on containers, go inside Cloud Pandit one. You see, you don't have output data folder. See, we have results.csv, but you don't have any folder. Now I'm going to exclude this. So it is going to create a output data folder. Done here. Now come here, refresh this to see that data. Output data folder. Open this. Click edit. Click preview. So these are the things we have. Okay, card type, credit name, credit score, load data. Okay, all these things we have. Okay, so I'm able to connect to the Jupyter notebook and I'm able to read and write from the Jupyter notebook, and from Putty also I'm able to read and write. Okay, now let's see how you can do same thing from the data factory. When you are doing these things from the data factory, right, it's quite different. It's not exactly straightforward. I'll tell you a few things before you do it in a this one. So first thing that you need to understand is go into HDFS3. Click on containers. See, go inside Cloud Pandit 3. So here you have a results.csv. What I wanted to do, this is my code, right? So I'm reading data from Cloud Pandit 3 folder, which is there in this storage. and I will add an extra column, and I will write my data into in this container. Okay, HDFS3, a Cloud Pandit 3 container in the storage. So I will say I will output data. So this is the folder which is going to, I will create this folder inside this Cloud Pandit 3. Okay, so this is all my code. Okay, just let me just remove these things. This is all my code that I want to execute. Okay, let's click file, save as. You need to save this particular file as a, you can say my PySpark code.py. You need to save it as a .py file. Okay, all files .py file I'm saving, just save it. This particular code you need to store it in some storage, any storage it can be. Okay, let's store it in a some storage. This also I'll store it here only. So here some outside I can say application app code, application code. Okay, some container I am creating. So in this application, anywhere you can store this. Okay, this is just to provide this code to my ADF I'm storing. Okay, this is my app container. Inside this container I need to upload the actual Python code, Spark code. Okay, so what is that? My PySpark code.py. This is the file that I need to upload. I just uploaded. Fine. Now come to data factory. Open this data factory which you created. Click author and monitor. Okay, see, I just opened my data factory. So from my data factory, I want to connect to the my Azure HDInsight. Okay, first thing, that's what I wanted to do. Go to manage tab. So let's create the connections first. Okay, let's click new. And now you want to connect to the compute. In compute, you see now you want to connect to the Azure HDInsight. Click continue. So this is what ls for Azure. Yeah, ls for HDI. Cluster. Okay, ls for Azure HDI cluster. So on demand HDInsight or bring your own HDInsight. I have my own HDInsight which is already running. Okay, so on demand means on the fly it will create. Okay, so subscription, from this subscription I can identify this is my HDI cluster. Now so in this particular cluster we have attached 3 storages, but it will show only these 2 storages. Why it is showing only these 2 storages? Because the third storage we have created after creating the cluster. That's why that third storage it will not show you. So from blob storage connection, so you need to create the kind of a one blob storage connection. Let's click new. Okay, so I'll say this is basically for ls Azure blob storage. I'll say HDFS3 account key. Azure subscription is this, and let's select HDFS3. Any storage you can connect to wherever you have code. Okay, just create it. So in HDFS3 I have uploaded my code. That's why I'm creating the linked service to that. Okay, next username. You remember my username I need to give. Password I need to give whatever password I was using. Let's test the connection. Okay, connection successful. You can create it. Now let's come to author tab. Okay, here you need to create pipeline directly. Inside pipeline, you need to go to Azure HDInsight. You have a different clusters. Which cluster you are using? Spark cluster. Just use Spark. Okay, so this is a Spark cluster linked service. This is the linked service you need to use. Script. What code you want to execute on that? So that code is not a jar file. Jar means if you have any Scala or Java code, from that code you are going to create the jar file. It's a Python code, just a Python file. Browse storage. This is the app code storage. In this app code, this is the file, my Python file. Okay, this file I want to submit on this. Then I will be able to see then I will be able to see one output go inside this Cloud Pandit 3. See my code, you can see in this Cloud Pandit 3, I'm creating output data folder. Okay, that output data folder will come once I execute my Azure Data Factory activity. Okay, how to execute? You can publish, you can create triggers, all those things you know, but I'll just click debug. Instead of waiting for publish and doing all those things, we can able to debug it. Compute infrastructure. Refresh this and see. Still it is executing, still the code is executing. Yes, now execution is started. See YARN application URL. Just click on this to see your application logs. If something goes wrong, you can able to identify the logs, errors, everything in this particular YARN URL. Okay, so go to your running jobs. Just click on running job. See, there is no running job. So this is my sparkcode.py. I have submitted. It is currently state is running. Currently the state is running only. Just click on this. Come down, you will have a application logs. Click on logs. This is basically YARN logs. YARN. Okay. Click standard output logs. There is no standard output logs. Go back. Click on HDIR. Standard error codes. So you don't have anything. Click here for full logs. So I don't think you will get any error because everything is fine. So you will not get any error. Now come to pipeline. Let's refresh this to see this particular activity is succeeded. Activity is succeeded. Okay, now you come back, refresh this. You will be able to see this output data folder. Inside this output data folder, same data it has written. So same code I have submitted by using 3 different ways: Jupyter, Putty, and the Azure Data Factory. Okay, that's all, friends. So tomorrow we'll talk about data lake analytics. Data lake analytics we'll discuss. Sorry, not tomorrow, day after tomorrow. You know, right? So day by day. Okay. Any questions, friends, before I close the call? Any
Thanks,
questions?
Malaya.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.